All right, cats. How we doing? Right. I have a bit of information about Jeffrey Epstein. Don't skip over me. This is great, this. They've done an investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and his death, and they have found there is nothing untoward to worry about. It was a suicide. He genuinely hung himself off a radiator that was on the floor. I didn't realise he was that short, but anyway. Couldn't resist that, sorry. So, 18 days before Jeffrey was found jam bread, Jeffrey was stuck into a cell when he was first arrested. He was stuck in a cell, and they assessed him, and they decided that he was a suicide risk. Oh, that was convenient, wasn't it? For him to commit suicide a couple of weeks later. But anyway, he was a suicide risk. And so, they thought, I know what we'll do. We best put him in a cell where the cameras broke. What, another one? Okay, cameras broke, fair enough. But there was an additional camera that did record something. Ooh. But unfortunately, that film was lost. And while all this was going on, they decided in their infinite wisdom, in this first cell, where one camera didn't work and one camera recorded something and then it was lost, Jeffrey needed somebody in the cell with him because he was a risk to himself. So they put someone in the cell with him. They put someone very, very caring in the cell, of slight stature. No, they didn't. They put someone who was basically a mob murderer who killed 4 men. He put a zip tie around one geezer's neck and just did it up and watched him die. A zip tie? Wow. And the other 3, they carted off to the woods, blew off their heads and buried them in amongst the trees. 3 lads. So that was 4 altogether. Now, does anyone's heart bleed for these people? Maybe their families do, but I don't think anyone else does because they were all mob related. This fella, by the way, he looks about 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". He'd make 3 of me. He's got more tattoos than I have by a long way. And not a whisker on his head. He looks like a genie from the lamp. And yes, I do have whiskers on my head. So I don't look like a genie from the lamp. Thank you. Yeah, they put him in a cell with him. Right. And then, one night, this guy, very generously, raises the alarm and says, Jeffrey has tried to kill himself. In fact, I think he's succeeded. He is on the floor, out for the count. So all the coppers run in. And guess what? They resuscitate Mr. Epstein. Should I say Mr. or should I say Twatus? I'm not sure. But him. They resuscitate him. And the first thing he does, open his eyes and go, that bastard there tried to murder me. Yeah, the big geezer who'd already murdered 4 other people. Now, while all this is going on, and Jeffrey's saying, he tried to murder me, and he's saying, I didn't. I saved you. For some unknown reason, unknown to everybody, this fella's sentence is commuted from death row, where he was going, to life in jail. Ah, but there's a genuine reason. And the reason is, no, there is no genuine reason. There isn't a reason. They just did it with no reason. Was it payment for favours, we wonder? Even though the favours backfired somewhat, and Mr. Epstein was still breathing. So, then they decided, right then, he's tried to commit suicide, or maybe this fella's tried to kill him, or whatever. So we'll now put him in a different cell, right? Only we'll come up with a better idea this time. We'll make absolutely sure that none of the cameras work, that are anywhere near the cell, and we'll put him in the cell on his own. So 18 days later, he's in this cell on his own with cameras that don't work. And no one came to his aid and no one checked on him. Do you know why? Go on, have a wild guess. Why didn't they check on him? The guards. Why didn't they check on him? Strange, isn't it? No, they were all fucking asleep. Honestly, officially, they were asleep. The cameras didn't work. Someone else had already tried to murder him. They put him in a cell with a 6'4" absolute gorilla of a man who's already murdered 4 mob people. And then this fella's sentence gets commuted. I'm not making this up. This is serious. It's mental. Mental. Oh, and so this great big geezer whose sentence was commuted, right? There were judges that looked at his case that commuted his sentence. Do we remember a name? Comey. He used to be top man in the FBI. James Comey, I believe. Well, James Comey had a daughter. And the daughter, from the way I read it, the daughter was one of the people, possibly a judge, but one of the people who made the decision that this big geezer and his sentence would be commuted from death to life imprisonment. The daughter of the ex-top man at the FBI. And so the plot thickens. If the plot was any thicker, it would be set concrete. It is a piss take. The whole system is a piss take. It's mad. But it's not what you know, is it? It's not what you think you know. It's what you can prove. And if you can't prove it, it's not happening. Seems to be the way of the world these days, doesn't it? If you can't prove it, it didn't happen. Even though, everybody knows it did, it didn't happen. We wonder what information Jeffrey was going to spill when he suddenly decided to hang himself off this absolutely massive radiator. Radiator must have been 30 foot high because he jumped off it and hung himself in his cell. No, he didn't. Radiator was on the floor. It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, that's quite an interesting one. It's worth having a gander at that one. The detail is quite interesting. If you want more information about that one, have a look at the Jimmy Dore show, because he goes into it in some detail. He goes on for about half an hour about it. It's interesting stuff. Anyway, I'm off. I'm freezing my arse off. I need to go and do some arm curls or bench pressing or jog on the spot or maybe just go in the house and have a tequila, actually. Sounds like a better plan, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely. Fuck that. It is Saturday night anyway. Swore. Sorry. Apologies. Good night, Vienna. Create and stay sane.